I have no idea what the issue is at hand that they were talking about, but I do know that what's gone viral is this video of a man fighting with a woman about this concept. And the real issue is, will you answer my question? That's the issue, right? Hey there, this is my new segment. I get to react to videos that I've never seen before. And I'm gonna see an example here of a man mansplaining to a woman. It's kind of a fun thing to watch. I don't know what it'll be. We'll see what it is. Mansplaining.
I love the mansplaining. I'm enjoying it.
You're loving what?
The mansplaining that's going on.
What
Just talking me through how by not answering the question, by repeating processes which are not related to the question that I've asked.
What's mansplaining, Senator?
Well, it's the slightly patronising and condescending way that you're responding to my questions.
Well, I would suggest, Senator, that if you're putting the word man in front of some description of what I'm doing, you're doing that which I'm sure you're very much against, is making a sexist implication about how I'm conducting my role as a man.
Well, then the easiest way to do it...
Is that what you're saying, Senator?
Well, what I'm saying...
I just love this. This is so perfectly political, right? And the start of the conversation is a woman sitting on the Senate committee in Australia saying to a man who is speaking, I love the mansplaining. She's polite, kind of just like bored by it, but she's like, can you just answer my question, right? But rather than saying, can you answer my question? I don't need this explanation. She says the word, you're mansplaining, which is immediately going to raise a defensive reaction from this guy because he knows he's being attacked even if he doesn't know the word. He knows it's an attack. And so now he goes from, she's trying to get an answer to a question, and he is able to take that attack and further move away from what it is she wants to talk about. He is now going to attack her for calling him out on mansplaining, and he's going to say, well, if I said women'splaining, you would be in an uproar, and blah, blah, blah. And I was kind of scrolling through the comments on this, and there's so much anger and like stuff going on. It's this one guy, Marcus, says, she accuses him of being condescending while being the most condescending of the two. Now, I don't know that I see that in either. I just see two politicians trying to posture and trying to put the other down and make the other seem inferior, using terms and using methodologies that will take their constituents and they'll be able to say, that guy's a total toxic man. He's mansplaining to women. And men will look at this man and say, that woman is a total horrible woman. All she does is see men as bad and say things like mansplaining, and she's so condescending. It creates a combative environment that is not conducive to actually solving anything. Politicians are great at this. Get a job, get elected 4 years, and we're going to fight about mansplaining and not solve a problem and get to the real issue. I don't like it, not because it's mansplaining. I don't like it because this is what people do to avoid the real deeper issue. Are you going to let a word like mansplaining keep you from actually getting the information you want? We do this all the time. And here it is, represented in spades, like I see all the time in politics.
Is that the way you've been responding to me has been patronising and condescending, and I have responded to that. So the easiest way to deal with this is not to have that way in responding to the questions I've asked.
Imagine the reaction, Senator, if I said you were womansplaining. You're saying that I'm mansplaining.
Well, it is a term that's used.
Is it by whom?
Well, it is a term that's used.
By rude.
Doesn't make
by rude senators.
So he is now sitting forward in his seat. He's upset, right? And she's honestly quite calm. She is explaining something to him that is legitimate. It happens. And I do believe that men do this frequently. I have myself been caught doing mansplaining to both men and women. I do stupid stuff like that. I'm not sure why it's specifically associated with men doing it to women, other than the fact that I think it is a real thing that happens. I think that men probably can assume that the woman sitting in front of them is not as intelligent or as educated because there's a cultural bent, particularly in North America, for us to assume that. Even though in recent years there are far more graduates from college being female than men. Women are academically outpacing men right now in many ways. However, we have these old archetypes that make us think things that are not up to date. And when we attack them like this woman who is trying to get some information out of this guy, when we start with that approach, we break down our ability to communicate. What is it that you really want the information about? Are you going to talk about the trigger that you hear and condescend to the person that condescended to you? Or are you going to allow them to condescend to you, wash it past you, ignore it, and get right back to the core issue, which is, I don't even know the question she wants an answer to. All we're doing is watching a conversation about mansplaining. That doesn't help anybody.
By senators who are seeking to make gender an issue.
No, I'm not.
Do you want to reconsider what you said, Senator?
No, I don't.
You don't want it?
No.
You don't want it?
No.
I mean, I just find it extraordinary, Senator. I just find it extraordinary.
Oh, he's settling in now. He's now laughing. He knows he's got her on the ropes.
Any senator at this
it.
table would seek to invoke gender in impugning how a senator is responding.
Well, I'm surprised
Mansplaining.
You haven't.
Let the
you
record
don't
show.
understand
Let the record
the term
show,
mansplaining.
Chair, that Senator Gallagher thinks it's appropriate to refer to a senator as mansplaining. Take a good look at yourself. I mean, sitting here and saying to a male senator, "You're mansplaining." If I said,
so this is such evidence of this left brain culture that we have started to move into. I read a book by Dr. Ian McGilchrist called The Master and His Emissary, and he has studied the hemispheres of the brain, the right and left brain. And the left side of the brain is our concrete interaction with the world. It is our words. So all the emotions, feelings, thoughts, the ideas that you have that are generated in the right side of the brain are then delivered through the conduit of the left brain, which gives you the words through which you can communicate that concept to someone. We all have our own feelings and emotions that we sense with that. And when I say something, right, like mansplaining, if it ignites an emotion in you that is counter to what I'm trying to drive at, and you dive in just to the pure definition, we can have an argument all day, like these two, on whether that's a viable concept to talk about or not, and miss entirely the actual thrust behind the point. The woman was simply saying, can you please just get to the answer to my question? Quit explaining yourself all the way up. Just give me the answer. That's what she's trying to say. He is now taking issue with how she said it. And what has become an issue that we don't even know what they were talking about. I have no idea what the issue is at hand that they were talking about. But I do know that what's gone viral is this video of a man fighting with a woman about this concept. And the real issue is, will you answer my question? That's the issue, right? And we're not even on that topic. I doubt we'll even get to it to the end. It's crazy to me that we allow our leaders, our politicians, and even ourselves to get caught in these loops. When you tell your kid to go to bed, guess what they do? But Daddy, I haven't brushed my teeth yet. But Daddy, right? They start saying that. And if you get caught in arguing with your child about all the little things that they're going to do to distract you from getting them to bed, it's going to take you longer. If instead, when your child says, but Daddy, you say, did you hear my request? And they'll finally say, yes, I heard it. And then you can say, can you please answer or go do what I have asked you to do? In this case, she could have just said, did you hear my question? He'd be like, yeah. And she'd say, could you answer my question? I don't want an explanation of why you're doing what you did. I want you to answer my question. That would have created a constructive conversation, not this.
To a female senator, you are woman-splaining, there would be uproar. Stop being a hypocrite.
Well,
conduct yourself appropriately for this place.
I'm sorry you're so offended by the use of the word. It is a word that's used. I'm surprised that you're so shocked by the use of the word.
No, I'm just calling hypocrisy. Hypocrisy. Thy name is Labor. Thy name is Senator Gallagher.
Well, I think you need to settle down, actually.
Senator, welcome to federal parliament.
Oh, right.
Welcome to federal
Minister,
parliament.
order.
Where the big people
Minister,
play.
order.
So as you can see, right, like the cool thing with this video that I like is honestly, these two people remain actually fairly amicable even as they're arguing. You can see they're not deeply invested, but they are playing with politically igniting concepts and knowing that it is going to light up their constituents in their favor. And it does not solve the issue at hand. We don't even know what it is. Don't get caught, man, in these issues of that we have created politically that become trigger points that limit our ability to hear each other. I wish that this man, instead of hearing this woman say mansplaining, had heard her intent. If he had taken that word and the concept of what she said from the left side of his brain, which is easily able to say, that's offensive, you can't do that, I can turn this back on you, and moved it into true understanding, which resides in the right side of the brain, and understood the nuance of what she was saying, which is, can you please just give me an answer? He could have given her an answer without the fight, and she would have been satisfied, and we could have moved on, and maybe this political body would actually get something done. I see this all the time in board meetings with people that I coach. I see flags come up that misdirect, that make us move off to the away from the concrete and actual pace we want to go. And this is the reason that I think it happens, because we are too caught up in finite definitions and too interested in building our own brand and not interested in actually coming as a community together and saying, hey, let me hear you, I'll let you hear me, and let's solve something. It's disturbing to see the lack of leadership in our government. And this is not just in Australia. Anyway, that's mansplaining video on YouTube. Man, it's honestly disheartening for me to see stuff like this because it's so frequent and so often. But I'd love to be able to take a different approach to these ideas and not get so bent out of shape and calm ourselves. Get curious. Find out what it is we really want to talk about, and don't get distracted by little words that you may be triggered about. Find out what the real intent is. Get to the meaning. Give the answer. Communicate. Don't intentionally misinterpret to defend your position. That's not communication. So if you kind of can see what I'm talking about, but you're also worried about your own ability to show up in a powerful masculine that is not toxic, I want you to watch this next video coming up, How I Unlearned Dangerous Lessons About Masculinity. Like, comment, subscribe. Thanks for hanging out. I'm James Burnham.